Hello. Good night and welcome to Let's Connect on 88.5 Sufre FM. I am your host, Renata D'Souza. Welcome back to our Let's Connect program. I hope you guys have missed me. I also hope that our resident DJ Fatboy has been letting you know what's been going on in my absence. We have had a move of studio. So we're officially in a new building that took a couple of weeks to set up, so we were not able to be on air. So I do apologize for our absence. In the interim, I do hope that our DJ Fatboy was informing you of everything that was going on in my absence. I did ask him to give you guys my best wishes while I was absent in studio for the last few weeks. And I do hope that you all have had a wonderful month of August. We've had quite a lot of things happening. But today we're going to be looking at new beginnings. We're in a new month. It's September 3rd. So I do wish all of you all the best. And I hope that you're here with us and enjoying our wonderful atmosphere here in our new studio here at 88.5 Sufre FM. I want to shout out all our communities, various communities of Sufre. We have the wonderful community of Fort-Saint-Jacques and all the various areas in Fort-Saint-Jacques. We want to say good night to Mini, Mocha, Esperance. Good night to you guys in Belvedere. Good night to St. Philip, Wavin Clare, Torwai, Zeno. Good night. If you guys are at New Development, good night to you as well. We want to say good night to everybody in Crestland. Special big up to Crestland tonight. We want to say good night to New Development, for Beignet Palmis, everybody in Diamond. Hello to you guys. In Bouton, big shout out to Bouton. Etangs, for Jean Libre, Mont-Lacroix, Chateau Bel-Air, good night. Belfort, good night. Good night to you guys at Lenny's Hill. Good night to Margaret Tooth. Good night to Barron's Drive and everybody in the town of Sufre, Boulevard Street, Church Street, Wingsville. Good night. We do hope that you all are having a wonderful Tuesday night in this wonderful new month of September, and that you are here with us, locked on to our program. We are here with the wonderful, amazing, enigmatic, all wonderful words that we can possibly think of to describe her. We have with us Miss Ellé Elizee of Tastetopia here in studio with us. Welcome to our Let's Connect program. Say hello to the wonderful listeners on 88.5, Miss Elizee. You should. You deserve that. Yes, I give you that. All right. So our wonderful in studio. You have some persons in the comments saying that they're hungry, El. So you should have some food with you. I think that's going to follow you everywhere you go. People will ask you for food, which is a wonderful testament to how good your food is. So for those of you who do not know who Ellé Elizee is, and what Tastetopia is, and if you cannot see her that she's wearing a chef jacket, we can let you know that Ellé is a wonderful young chef right here in Sufre. Ellé, speak again. I don't think they can hear you. Check. I'm just doing a mic check. Go again. Okay, it's reading across here. Let me know in the comments. Are you hearing her? I hope so, because it's reading coming off of my end. So let's see if they say anything else in the comments. Okay, they're saying they're not hearing her. Try again. Let me know in the comments. Can you hear?
Ladies and gentlemen.
No, they're not hearing her. Okay, so let's just check in with our tech to see what's happening with the mics. Because it's showing me on the system that it's up, so I don't know. Okay, we're going to take a short break for us to try and figure out the situation with the mics. Give us 1 second while we take a look at the situation with the mics.
She said, I like the way you working, keep digging it.
Well, you don't know Mr. Mad Cobra, Mr. Elter Spelter. Well, bad man, we not take fish in our face. We not set for no gal. Gal, we not, fi open and text. Yeah, we boss, we no fling foot in her. Bad man face no gal can't. Gal a fi ya. Yeah, fi we want round no comfy in her. Left you in a bush, comfy dinner. Where we have.
Yeah, it's a sting. Some boy I cry, one them I cry for.
Jesus is calling.
All right. Let's see if we're back up and running. Testing.
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Tell
Can
me
you
if
hear
can
me?
hear her. Yes, awesome. All right, we're good to go. Great. I'm thankful for your patience, everybody, and for letting us know that we were in a little bit of a situation there with the sound. So we do appreciate you guys for that. Thank you so very much.
So I should say hi again.
Yes, so we're going to start over. So you all heard me all the time, so let's hear from Elle again. Welcome, Ellé, to our Let's Connect program.
Thank you, Reniata, for having me on board with you tonight. I'm ready to hear your questions, your queries. Guys, I'm open to everything. You know, ask me what you want to know.
All right, so you heard her. She's open and willing to answer our questions. So let's say big up to all those of you in our chat room right now. Thank you so very much once again for your patience. We want to shout out Tutu. Thank you so very much. That's the one who said he's hungry, by the way.
I know he said he would say it.
I already warned you. Good night, Miss Calixta. Good night, big up Etongs once again. I want to say good night to Miss Delta Bowens all the way from St. Vincent. Thanks so very much for keeping it locked on Let's Connect. You're so loyal to us. We love you. We love you. Big shout out to Miss Camilla Jean as well. Maria Joseph listening all the way from Brooklyn, New York. I hope the weather is good up there. And Miss Caroline Bob, thank you so very much for joining us on our Let's Connect program. She says good night to her Soufre family and friends, and she's watching from Castries. Welcome, welcome to all our Let's Connect family, those of you listening on radio, those of you on Facebook Live and on YouTube. So once again, we have with us Miss Ellé Elizee of Tastetopia. Now, I have had the pleasure of having some of Tastetopia's wonderful, delicious meals. I remember the very first experience. The scent alone took me away. I did not even open the container yet. The smell had me, and I told her that I was so excited to try that meal because we did 2 weeks in a course recently. That's one of the reasons we were not on as well. We had a nighttime course the last 2 weeks doing accounts. Ellé, how did you find the accounts training? How was that experience for you? Both the last 2 weeks and when we started in January.
The last 2 weeks were good. I enjoyed it. Getting to know how to use QuickBooks was mind-blowing for me. And even the explanations that our tutor gave to us, especially me as a business owner, telling me to try to get to use QuickBooks in my business, I'm going to take the step forward because of her. I really love that.
Awesome.
And the previous one, because of it, I know how to use money better. Let me tell you.
Yes. And it's such a wonderful thing to hear a young business owner saying that the training that they've been getting, especially with accounts, how to do money management, how to use QuickBooks, that has been essential to you.
Yep.
Love hearing that. So we want to get to know you a little bit better, especially for those of you getting to know Ellé for the first time, getting to know about Tastetopia for the first time. So in your own words, tell us about your business. Describe what your business is.
Okay, so my business was built on love and uniqueness. When I speak of love, I speak of my kids. Before I used to work at different hotels, even worked in offices before. But then getting home to them and going through recipes with them, standing up in the kitchen, baking with them, it built up a love in me for food. And being a chef for so many years before I went into office work, because most of the times I was pregnant, so I had to, tone down a bit on what I used to do. That's love for me. My kids did that for me. And uniqueness, my recipes, every recipe that I have, I've tweaked it, I've made it my own. I don't stick to the norm when it comes to my recipes. And that alone used to make me feel like, okay, I'm different. When I speak to chefs about it, they're like, yes, that's what sets you apart. For me, that's what makes me in my business.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's basically you telling us that the passion and the drive you have for your business stems from your kids, stems from being able to be in the kitchen with your kids. I love that. Tell us about the type of food. I've had your Chinese, which was my favorite. I've had some of your Indian-inspired meals. Tell us about the different kinds of meals you prepare.
Okay, so on a Tuesday, so my main meals for during the day, during the week, on a Tuesday, I have Trinidadian rotis. When I first made rotis, they were not all that because I wasn't as, how would I say it? Experienced in making rotis. And there was a day I entered my mom's house and she made a roti. And when I tell you, I taste the roti. That was roti for me. So I asked her to teach me. I stand up and I watch her make it using the different spices and making sure you have the right spices for the roti. That set my rotis up for another level. Like I'm not just making regular rotis right now. And yeah. And that Tuesdays are rotis. I make beef and chicken rotis. I'm trying to expand on the veg rotis because we have some vegetarians in Soufre. On a Wednesday, I try to do any kind of culture that comes to mind. If it's St. Lucian cuisine or if it's maybe Indian cuisine, like you said you tasted. I visited Spice of India for my brother and my sister's birthday. And that inspired me to try the recipes. That's why I started making the butter chicken and just going through my favorite spot, Pinterest, to find different meats and how to prepare them in the Indian cuisines. On a Thursday, I do Chinese. So my Chinese, I started it at home for myself. And one of my friends came over and she's like, Missy Ellie, that really smelling like the Chinese store. Like she said, when I stepped in, I felt like I was in a Chinese restaurant. I told her, you sure? She told me, yes. I told her, okay, welcome. Let's have a meal. When she sat down and she ate it, I think she licked the plate. So that's where my Chinese came from. And on a Friday, I just do regular stuff like maybe what everybody knows, green fig salad, mashed potatoes. Although, like I said, I try to switch it up a lot. So I tried a recipe recently, potato poppers. I think my customers have been asking me that for the last 2 weeks since I made it.
Okay, I guess the potato poppers were hot sellers.
Yes, they were. So, yeah, that's it for me for the week. I'm trying to move into the night. I have been trying different things. I don't want to stick to what everybody knows, chicken and fries, fish and fries. That's why my menu is so different. But you know, time.
In time,
Yeah.
when as you expand, as you grow, as you
Yes.
learn more.
Yes.
I did notice that you had done a couple of nights because I'm on your broadcast list, so I get your flyers.
I think my customers fed up.
No, that is how you do business. You have to keep your customers always keeping you in mind all the time, and that's a great thing to do. I struggle with that myself. The consistency of I always feel the same way, like I'm troubling people. But then when you want people to keep you in mind, that's what you have to do, and that definitely your marketing is on point because the first time I saw you very demure, I was tickled pink. I think all that's the kind of thing that makes you want to order from that person because they're giving you all that you need just from that simple flyer.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
so I think you're doing a great job with your marketing. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
You told us that your children inspired you to go into business for yourself, but you were already a chef before that happened. So what inspired you to get into the food business in the first place?
If I tell you, you'll not believe me.
Tell me.
Grandmother.
Really?
My grandmother, Marceline Leo, aka Muddy Dote. Shout out to you, Mama. I love you. I think my whole life she's been telling me, Ellie, go and look for an office job and put your heels, Ellie. Because what happened was when she was a chef, she's been a chef her whole life. She got hurt in the kitchen. And the way it hurt her, she doesn't want it to happen to me, which is out of love. But, I mean, growing up as a child in Zeno, seeing my grandmother catering for all sorts of things, parties and family parties, and us going by the beach. And boy, when I tell you, that lady can cook. That lady can cook. Some things she does do sometimes, I'll be baffled by when she do it. Because that's why I get the uniqueness when it comes to my recipes and tweaking it. She'll tell you, okay, Ellie, now if I mashed potato, yeah. When she sits down and she don't mash potato, it have sausage, it have this, it have that. And when you eat it, it's like, okay, that's mashed potato, but on another level mashed potato. So from there, and she used to make us do our own egg. I have a cousin. She couldn't cook. And I was the one in the kitchen cooking for the two of us. And every morning, Ellie, you're not doing an egg. Ellie, you're not coming and make breakfast. She not going and do it. She waiting for me to come and do it for her. So the love, it started from my grandmother. It really did.
I can definitely tell that story was very nice. I love that. So big up to what was the name?
Muddy Dote.
Muddy Dote. Big up to Ellé's grandmother in Zeno. Big up to the community of Zeno for producing wonderful chefs. We want to give a big shout out to you guys because definitely food is the key to many hats. So definitely the love you got from your grandmother, the encouragement you got from your kids has definitely brought you to a wonderful place where you're going to be a wonderful addition to the food industry in Soufrière, in St. Lucia. So, what can you tell us are some of the positives of being a business owner, having your own business versus you've had jobs in hotels, you've had jobs in offices, you work for yourself now. What are some of the positives related to having your own business?
Okay, I thought of that question. I need to think on that question. The positives of having a business. A business can be so hard. When I tell you hard, like it's taught me, discipline. And when I tell you discipline, like discipline in another form. Like I have 2 kids and I have to be extremely disciplined for everything to be made on time, for every step in food to be done. I have to be up sometimes from 5:30 in the morning. I'm up and I'm clean. I sanitize my kitchen every morning before I do anything because my kitchen is my home. My kitchen is my heart. That's what I take it as. So when I tell you I sanitize that kitchen from head to toe before I start cooking every morning. I do that. I make breakfast for my kids, make sure they're okay when they wake up. And for the summer, boy, they've made sure I'm okay. They come in, they say, Mommy, okay, I just want cereal this morning because they know I have work. Or Mommy, just give me bread and butter. Yeah, so discipline for me and having to make sure they go to school on time before I cook. Discipline came into play when it comes to having a business where you cook and you have to make sure you make the food on time to feed people. Another positive
time with your kids should be a positive.
It is. I'm at home. They have me, and when I tell you they have me, if I'm cooking and I'm in the kitchen, sometimes my son, he come in there, he hugging me my food, he telling me, Mommy, you okay? Mommy, can I have something to eat? Or when I'm done for the day, I don't have to worry about waiting till 5 in the afternoon to leave work. I'm done for the day. I clean up and they have me. I go to the beach with them. We do stuff after I'm done cooking, and I make sure I make time for them after I'm done because I've been busy from the morning till early afternoon. So yes, time for them has been a big positive for me.
Wonderful. We just want to remind those of you in our chat, if you have any questions for Ellé while you're in our live chat, you can go ahead and send the questions. We shall read them live on air for you. So we want to shout out once again those of you who have joined us. We want to say good night to Gatson Thompson, good night to Dwayne McKenzie, good night as well to Mrs. Joan Hippolyte. Thank you so very much, Miss Emmanuel as well, coming in all the way from Brooklyn as well, joining us on our program.
Big
Thanks
up
so
you,
much.
Nanox.
All right. So we have all our Tastetopia clients in the chat room. That's right. All right. So once again, we want to express that gratitude for you guys being here with us after our several weeks out because of the change of venue and everything that has been going on. So thank you very much for sticking with us on Let's Connect here on 88.5 Soufrière FM. All right. So we've heard about the positives, time with your kids, and also the discipline that you have right now. And trust me, I can understand that discipline level because when you have to get up that early and not mention having 2 kids that you have to get ready for school, definitely need that discipline has to come into play. So let's talk a little bit about some of the hardships, some of the hurdles. We know it's definitely a hurdle just to be in the kitchen. And you're the only one. You're your only staff member?
Yes, I am.
Yes, so you have to do all your prep work, you have to do all your cleanup and preparation of meals for the day. Yes. So that's already all on you. You're a whole team all by yourself.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit more about some of the hardships you encounter as a small business owner.
Okay, so sorry about that. When I first started this year, well, I've been in operation since last year, but I started preparing meals during the day this year in January. I used to cook all my meals, make sure I have all my orders before 11:30, and I used to walk from Crescent, walk all the way down through new development, deliver while I'm in new development. When I'm done with my deliveries in new development, I walk to town and I walk all around the town and I do my deliveries. And I used to get paid $2 for each delivery on foot. I would be on foot from 11:30 up until 1. That was one of the hardest things for me when I first started. And when I tell you it was hard, I used to walk, I used to have my bottle of water in my hand, and I'm saying, okay, Ellie, let's get it. The meal's heavy. I probably have like 20 meals in my hand, 20 rotis, and sometimes it has sides. So, the plates have weight. I have 2 big bags, and I'm walking, and I'm doing my deliveries. And I did that for close to 4 months straight. No help sometimes. Sometimes people used to tell me, Ellie, you want a ride? I'd just get a ride to Massy, Lapel, and still walk. So that took a toll on me. It really did. At one point, I was like, Missy, when I get back home and the children come from school, I'm so tired. I cannot even focus on what they're telling me. Like, my daughter used to try and talk to me, and I can barely answer because my body was like, okay, Ellie, you need to sleep. That was hard for me, but I pushed through. One thing I've noted with business, there will be hardships. There will be things that come and it will like make you want to give up. And I've been at that place where I wanted to give up. But I still used to just get up and push through every single hurdle. That was one of my major hurdles, and I took it like a G, let me tell you. The other thing for me was not having a life. Like for myself,
A social life, to have time to maybe go out with friends, or because when I'm done with work, I'm too tired. Right.
I have the kids, so I'm home. I'm not doing anything. I've been home. Either I'm at home or I go to church or something, but not a social life where I have friends and I used to go out and enjoy myself. No. My business has held me back from being social up until the summer. But, yeah, that was my only 2 hurdles. Apart from that, everything else has been a push through. Financially, a push through. Once my bills get paid at the end of the month, I'm okay. That's what it was for me. And starting a business and not having major profits because you're just starting off is just pay the bills, make sure the kids are okay. Pay the bills, make sure the kids are okay every month. And it's still like that for me. And I'm still pushing through. I'm still here. That says a lot.
Oh, that is so inspiring, especially when you hear persons say that young people don't want to work or young people don't want to do something. There you are as a standing testament that you can do something, you can push through, you can jump through the hurdle because you started on foot. Now you have a delivery person.
Yes.
So you started out where you just were doing rotis. Now you're doing rotis, you're doing meals, you're doing Chinese cuisine. You have a different thing every day. You have a unique take on food. Nobody else is doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And it's only going to go up from here. I have no doubt about that. You have a note here in the chat from Miss Caroline Bob. She said she's so proud of all the young people that have a vision and can make it. Keep up what you're doing, what you like. Don't let anyone keep you down. And Joanna, good night to you, Joanna. She said, keep going, LA. Trust and believe that you can do it. That's right. I think that, honestly, when you look at your story, I cannot see anything other than you're going to go up from there. Because you started from humble, truly humble beginnings. You were literally on your 2 feet, struggling in the heat at lunchtime in Soufrière.
With my running shoes.
And you made it. And now you're a step up, and that means you're only going to keep going up. So we definitely see great things happening for you. Now, when I asked for hurdles, I never expected that. I was expecting something like maybe supply running out, or orders not coming through, or people complaining about prices. These were the type of things I was expecting from a small business owner.
I have them, but they're not hurdles.
You don't see them as hurdles?
No. When I say they're not hurdles, I consider them business. Everyone will complain. Not everyone. Some of my customers don't complain at all. And when I tell you they don't complain, Ellie, how much is it? Give me a price. Sometimes they even drop a little tip in it for me. because they know the food when you enter Massey, $200. How many bags you coming outside
One.
with? Okay, thank you.
That's one bag.
Thank
one
you.
bag.
So you know how many bags that come outside of Massey with? Maybe 3 or 4. And that 3 or 4 sometimes not doing nada for me. So I know the struggles on people. I know it's hard. And trust me, school was one of the hardest seasons for me, where food would stay on my hand. I'll have to maybe give it away or throw it away because sometimes I don't have nobody to give it to. August was a hard month for me. But like I said, I'm not the only business owner. I speak to other business owners and they can tell you the school season and prepping for school and buying books and everything, people don't have money. So when you put your prices, people will complain. So I was expecting that. That's one of the things I was expecting. But with my cuisine, I have ingredients, I have different things that are not in soufre, that I have to travel for, that I have to go through all lengths to get. Like my beef, I don't get it in soufre. I wish there was somewhere I could get beef in soufre. I used to buy it at La Place, but the quality of the beef is not what I need. So I have to go all the way to Vieux-Fort, and I'm there every Monday shopping to get my beef. So that's where prices come into play. You have to travel, you have to do this, the prepping, the time, the effort, and I know why some restaurants just put their prices and I don't complain, because everything is money. It operates on money. So when I get the complaints, I'll just be like, okay. My thing is, if you're going to complain to me, just don't message my phone. But you have to be a little modest, a little demure with everything.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yes. Very, very demure, very classy. Very mindful.
Yes, very mindful.
Yes.
And understanding when they come through. So that's fine.
Wow. Okay. So you say those are not hurdles, but I can imagine those would be enough to shut me down sometimes, because I would not want to hear anybody complaining about prices. I would not want to have to be traveling every Monday just to get beef. That's just one ingredient.
Yes.
So
Just one.
oh wow, that's amazing that you have pushed through so much and you keep going, and that's wonderful. The perseverance, I applaud you for that. Right off the bat, your perseverance is amazing. So we want to move on a little bit into our interview here. I was going to ask you what are the challenges, but you've given me quite a bit of challenges already. But let's talk a little bit about young people in Soufrière and how can they get into business for themselves. What is some of the advice or some of the steps you believe that any young person who thinks that they want to consider owning their own business, what steps do you think they should take for themselves? As somebody who's gone through it, what are some of the things you think that is a must when it comes to opening a business?
My first thing in business is put God first. When I wake up on a morning, I pray. Before I go to bed, I pray. This world can be so bad when it comes to not having God in your life, especially when it's business. Put God first. That's my main thing. That has been my main thing since when I started business. My next thing is my journey as being a business owner. Everything came in strides. So I didn't sit down and say, I need to do an accounts course, or okay, Ellie, you need to do this. No. Everything came in steps. Everything happened at the right time. Literally everything happened just when I needed it. My accounts course came in when I was having financial problems, just when I needed it. So my thing is, if you're going to start a business, at least sit down, because if it didn't come in strides, I'd probably be a mess right now. Sit down, look at what you need for business, especially the type of business you're going to go into. If it's food, sit down and make a budget as to how much money you want to spend daily on that business. sit down and understand the aspects of having a business and not just, okay, I'll spend that money and let's see if I'll make it back. No. See how you're going to make it back and how much profit you're looking to make back. Because if you don't have a plan, it can really mess you up. That's my thing. Have a plan. Have goals in your business. Have some kind of, okay, this is where I want to be in maybe the next 2 months with my business. Or after the first week, let me see what's my progress. Have a plan. I did not have a plan. I'm being very honest. I only had the name, what I wanted to cook on a Tuesday, and how much money I was willing to spend. And I only had like maybe $300 to spend to make rotis. That's all I had. I did not have a plan. I did not have an accounts certificate. I could not manage my money, nothing. My mother was my help. My mother helped me understand, okay, Ellé, when you spend that, this is what you do after you spend it. If I did not have my mother in my ear helping me through that, it wouldn't have lasted. It really wouldn't. So have a plan, put God first, and if you cannot be determined for something as small in your life, like let's say for example, you want to lose weight. You want to lose the weight. Have you started? Have you changed how you're eating? Have you walked at least once to know what it's like to walk? Have you tried? Because when I first started, I was working at Unchastney as a front desk agent at Jade Mountain, And at nights when I get back home, like if let's say I work at 7:03, by the time I leave at 3 o'clock, I'm in the supermarkets buying just a few things, just to make a few meals to make an extra buck.
Okay.
That's how I started. So I used to bake bread in my Subway. Anik, she remember my Subway. She used to bake before over a year. Ellé, when you making Subway again?
I missed the Subway era.
Yes.
After I like a Subway.
You did.
Oh, you need to go back into the Subway part. I missed it. Really time to come back again.
Yes. So that's how I started. I did not know I'd be in business today. I thought I'd probably have another job again and still be cooking my little thing on the side. But it's not like that for me. Every time I try and find a job, I can find one. So I'm guessing.
As you were meant to be this. You were meant to own your own business. You were meant to have Tastetopia.
Yeah.
So, like you said, God made sure everything happened the way it had to happen.
Yes, it did. In the right time.
All right. What's your opinions on whether or not persons should take some business courses or accounts courses or management courses, something in before they start a business? You think that's something that's vital?
Yes, very vital. Because if you, for God forbid, you don't know how it operates with money when it comes to business. Some people just think, okay, you buy the food, you sell it, then you get the money back. It's not that. It's really not that. When I understood what it was, I was like, okay, that's all what I have to do. At the end of the day, when I sit down in the night and my brain's tired, and I tell you, I have to sit down there, count the money, separate the money I've spent, which is my expenditure. Before I take out the expenditure, I have to make sure I have the revenue to get the profit. Do you even know what those terms are? You need accounts. You need business management. I used to be in a kitchen, so I knew how to prep. I used to be in a kitchen, so I knew how to manage myself when it comes to time and making sure everything is ready. I mean, I used to work in a room service kitchen. There was this chef in the kitchen. He used to pull out hot plates with his hand from the oven. And when I tell you ceramic white plates that sit in an oven from the time we reach, he's just there taking it. Tell me, Ellé, let's go. So you have to go. The plates have to be hot for room service. The food has to be fast. That alone had me. And when I tell you I cooking fast, the children tell me, Mommy, I have macaroni and cheese. Within 10 minutes, they already have the macaroni and cheese on a plate. And some people just watch me cooking and be like, how you do that so fast?
You're like a hurricane in the kitchen.
I'm fast. I there was this day I did not have because of our accounts training, I did not have groceries for the next day. I did not have anything prepped for the next day. And for some reason, that morning I woke up and the morning was just hectic. I got my groceries around minutes to 10. I don't bathe yet. The children don't eat breakfast yet. The meat not even cleaned yet. And my food was ready for 11:30. And I had pork. And you know how long pork does take to cook.
Wow.
And my food was ready on time. My kids were set and ready for the day for deliveries while I was busy. Time, everything and before I used to be late because of me walking, but now when people order, they get their food on time. So yeah, that's it for me.
Well, Ellé, you've definitely been inspiring a lot of young people tonight for sure. I hope that all those of you listening, if you're listening and you don't have a business but you're interested in having a business, or if you know somebody, tell them to look at this live afterwards. Tell them to get some inspiration from Ellé Elizee of Tastetopia. Tell them that this is all you need to have focus, to have God in your life, to do the necessary planning, set your goals. All the advice is there for you and all the opportunities are there for you.
And trust me, the courses are there. They
Thank you.
are. And
Thank
they're
you.
for
They're
free.
there. And we thank you. We did the courses for free.
Me didn't pay no money for that. They're
right here, it's
there.
free.
Yes.
So we need you all to hop on these opportunities when they become available.
They're offering them like
All the
free
time.
courses.
All the
Just
time.
go do
We've
them.
done-
And
we've done free courses for this year.
yes. And when I tell you these courses cost money. You remember our accounts teacher telling us the cost was like $700? And it's just like basic accounting from one chapter to 10.
10 chapters.
Just 10 chapters.
10 chapters, that's all we did.
And that's $700. And the book had how many chapters? Like almost 40?
40 something chapters.
Yes.
And we have the whole textbook for
So
free.
and they send the textbook to us.
Yes.
So imagine having to pay for these courses and they're free right now. You would be spending a lot of money. QuickBooks training alone at a place called Lightspark is like almost $1,500. And we did just the basic QuickBook training recently.
And 2 weeks.
It just took 10 days, my girl.
Well, yeah, 10 days.
10 days. From just 3 hours sitting down in a class listening to everything.
And then the practical, and that was it. And
And
look at how well that went. That just
Yeah. Like that just set everything for me.
There you go.
The tutor tell me, okay, Ellie, you don't have a business account yet. Why you don't have one yet? And she vexed with me in the class because I don't have a business.
Why don't you have a business?
Yes, and I'm not registered yet.
We'll get there.
But it's time.
Steps.
She tell me why you do that yet, for you to connect QuickBooks and you could see where your money going, you could see everything. And I'm like, okay, that's what QuickBooks is. I didn't know. I really did not know. I knew accountants use QuickBooks to account, but I didn't know what it was used for basically. Yeah, so that was nice for me.
We have Fadia Henry who says that I have a small business and I really needed this advice. So we've definitely changed the life of at least one business owner tonight. We can pat ourselves on the back because that is what we intend to do. We want our young people to take advantage of these business opportunities. We have the Hope Project. There's the Monroe College scholarships. There's the first generation scholarships. There's UniPass. There's so many things happening for you that you can just grab onto these opportunities to better yourself, further yourself in education so that you can do better for yourself with owning your own business. We have the Youth Economy Agency, which gives you up to $5,000 grant.
I
which
jump
means you
on
don't have
Natty
to-
fast.
Okay. There you go. Let's talk a little bit about that. I didn't know you were part of the Youth Economy too. Okay, Ellé, let's talk about that. So the Youth Economy assisted you with your business?
Oh yes, they're processing me right now. They've been calling me because for now what I have is like a very small fridge. Like when I tell you a small fridge, a fridge you'd probably buy for $600.
They
And-
are for, I need a fridge, right?
And my girl, Ipanle. It don't have
Oh,
space.
but I'm not a business owner. You are. I mean, I don't have a food business, I should say, because I did think of asking you actually what it was like doing or your prep in, because I'm not sure. I've never been to your house. I don't know how big your kitchen is, but for the amount of meals you prepare in a day, do you have sufficient space?
No.
Fridge, stove, all of that sort of thing, or are you working from a basic home setup?
My first startup when I used to live in the Gulf was with a 4-burner stove, and it used to burn my cakes, you know?
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
because you could really set the timer, that kind of thing. So I started off with a small stove, 4-burner. The oven used to burn everything sometimes. And a small fridge. I still have the same small fridge. That's why every day you'd see me in town shopping. I cannot shop in bulk and have everything stored for the next day. And that can be very tiring. Because every day I'm in town looking for groceries. Every day I have to be calling everywhere. La Place, you have this there, you have this. And sometimes I don't get the things for me to cook for the next day. And sometimes I have to call people all the way in Viewfort to try to get the stuff for me so I can have a bread the next day. So, space,
Right.
youth economy.
So we're looking forward to bigger and better things for Tastetopia because
Oh,
they're
yes.
getting that assistance. So let's hope you'll get a chiller
Oh,
or you'll get a deep freeze,
I cannot wait.
a 10-burner stove. I don't know.
I'm looking at a commercial stove. I don't
Okay.
want the basic stove because the commercial stove, like in the hotels, as soon as you light it and you put the water, it's done boiling already.
Okay.
So that will pick up speed for me.
Awesome.
I cannot wait.
Awesome.
But
Now,
youth economy did
next
that.
year you can also jump onto MSME.
MSME.
MSME, micro, small, medium enterprise. That's from Ministry of Commerce, but your business needs to be registered. You need to have a business plan, which I
Yes.
can help you with.
Yeah, you better.
So get registered. That's your first step. We're going to work on you getting you registered so that next year you can hop on MSME. So there are, like I was saying, we have the opportunities available, people. So don't hear about it and don't take action. There is youth economy. There's Hope Project. There's the scholarships available. There's courses available. There's so many different things coming up all the time. We talk about it all the time. We talk about it here on the program. We post it on the Sufre Constituency Group Facebook page as well. So please do not let these opportunities pass you by. I want you guys to take advantage of everything that happens. So Mrs. Jody Pollitt said that as she listens to Ellie, a very intelligent past student, it brings back the whole idea of junior achievers, a business initiative which primary schools used to have in the past. The education system needs to bring it back for the business training. Now, I'm not sure if junior achievers was in the primary schools. I knew of junior achievers while I was in secondary school because I believe they opened at the time RBTT bank used to give every junior achiever bank account with $5 on it to start you off. I remember I was one of those who got that while I was at the St. Joseph's Convent. All of the young, I think that was when we were in Form 4, I believe. They gave everybody a bank account as part of Junior Achievers. You'd get a bank account starting off with $5 that you had to, develop and take it where you could take it. So I think the Junior Achievers program is definitely a wonderful initiative that could be brought back. I'm not too sure how after school clubs work now in the schools, because before we used to have young achievers, we used to have girl guides, we used to have brownies, all the different clubs, Red Cross and so much more that would do different things and teach different things and have different concepts that you could learn from. So if Young Achievers was helping to start off the business mindset, the earlier the better. The earlier you get the business mindset, the better for you. That's one thing I've realized at my age now, trying to do what Ellé is already doing at her age. So the younger you start off, the better for you. All right. So good night to you, Sabina Charles. All right. Yes. So we want to encourage young persons, take advantage of these business
And
initiatives.
another thing some people don't know, the more certificates, the more stuff that you do, you can put it on your resume. Sometimes you don't even work yet and you have all these certificates. By the time the HR manager read it and she say, okay, you've been trying to train yourself to get to where you are, to get hired at least, they'll take you. Because some people don't have those on their resume. That's all you need sometimes.
All right. Ellé, can you have any further advice for young people, general advice? You might not have to be business advice. You're a woman of the world. You have kids. Any advice in terms of children? Any advice in terms of anything that you're passionate about other than cooking? Any advice in general that you want to share with our listeners tonight?
One of the things I do for myself is in whatever I do, wherever I go, I do my best to walk with my head high and be a lady, not be uncouth and loud. I mean, I can laugh loud. We know that. But I'm still very ladylike. And for a young girl in this world, being a lady sets the tone for you. Even though you don't have a job, even though things are not working out for you, still look your best. Don't never let people see you in a position where, okay, my girl, you okay? You want a kiss? You want a hug? They come in and they're manipulating you so bad. That's where you keep yourself at a pace where people see you and be like, okay, something's happening for her. Sometimes nothing not happening for her. Really, I'm going to laugh. Don't do that, please.
I'm behaving. I am behaving. I'm sorry. Let me tell you, it's fun to be in studio with me, y'all don't see what's happening other than y'all hearing us on the mic, but there's things happening. Okay, I apologize for making Ellé laugh. I am so sorry. That is my bad. So let's divert a little bit. Let's get back into our.
We better.
I there's something I wanted to point. You spoke a little bit about being a lady and that sort of thing. I don't want to say that has something to do with you being somebody who is spiritual and goes to church, but do you have that opinion that is an aspect that is missing in certain especially young ladies in their lives, that foundation of church, that foundation of morality, that the demureness that they're missing? Is it something we can allude to, that maybe we need to ask everybody to maybe get back into church? I don't know, maybe it's not for everybody. So.
Church is not for every. I was about to
it's
say
not
that.
for everybody.
It's not everything you need to be where you are. Yes, you need God. Without God, what is church? You could be at church every day and you don't have a relationship with God. What sense does it make for you to be at church? Because the whole point of you being at church is to draw closer to Him, to be in love with Him, and to be in His presence, and to understand what's happening in His dimension, because that's His place where He dwells. But if you don't love God and you're going to church, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to make a difference. The love has to first begin with Him. But
I think Ellé needs to have a podcast.
when it comes to modesty and carrying ourselves like queens, when I walk around town sometimes, it really hurts to see some women and the way they carry themselves. And sometimes they're so pretty. Like, you could look so much better than that. And I'm telling you that, and I can picture some of them, and I'm like, yeah, you could do better. You don't have to have everything out for you to be seen. I'm always fully clothed. I mean, sometimes I have my little bossy right on me, but I'm always dressed like a lady. There's a time and a place for everything. And when I have my shorts on me, I'm either stepping out of the house to go by the beach, or
like you said, a time and a place for everything.
So if I'm walking through town and I'm doing different little things, I'm still dressed appropriately. And men pull towards that. They want that. They want to see a woman who's fully clothed. They want to
leave something to the imagination.
Like, okay, what is she? What does she have on the day? Like, make them wonder. that's mystery for men, and they love that. But some women don't understand that.
Well, sometimes they need to be shown that first of all. Sometimes they don't have that example in their life. That's what I always say. If you don't have that example, because you cannot emulate something you don't know.
Yeah, I've had young people reach out to me and tell me like, Ellie, what's the secret? And I just tell them, I've sat down, I've read, and I read my Bible. I make sure I understand what I'm reading. And one of the things the Bible says is modesty. It's not just the worldly view, it's the godly view as well.
Mm-hmm.
The world tells you if you dress modest, it attracts a man. It's mystery. God says the same thing. So it came straight from there and nowhere else. So that's it for me. Yeah, people know I go to church and stuff like that, but sometimes I'm not even in the church, and I'm still very, very godly. I still hold God at a standard, and one of the things my body is my temple. The way I treat my body is my temple. And to have him love me and do what he needs to do with me, I need to show him, okay, I'm his girl.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. So definitely a child of God, and you walking in that path, and that is why God is leading you down the right path, because everything is going to keep going up and up and up for Ellé Elizee of Tastetopia. Once again, thank you so very much for joining us on our Let's Connect program. You're definitely part of the Let's Connect family officially, so you're welcome back anytime you want.
If you
have to bring samples to taste, you want to try a new dish, you can just hit us up.
Oh, Renata, I'll be calling you.
All right, so want to thank all those of you in our live chat tonight. I love that you were so wonderful and participating in the conversation. We do want to once again encourage our young persons to consider starting their own business, take advantage of all the opportunities available to them. If you need assistance, or if you need to know where you can go with your business or what program you can get into, feel free to visit us at the Sufra constituency office. We'll try to link you with all the things that you are eligible for that's currently happening. We'll try to get you onto our Facebook platform, onto our WhatsApp group chats, somewhere where you can get the information as we get it as well.
As you say that, not to cut you short,
No, go ahead.
I can come and register my business for free, man, at the constituency office, please.
We don't do registration of businesses, but I will show you how you can get it done. We'll go through the process, and I do believe one of our instructors was telling us about a different way to do it.
Yeah.
We'll try and get that information
Sure.
as well, so that we can see where we can go with that.
It'd
So
be-
definitely we'll be helping Ellé get her business registered and get ready for her to be able to apply for MSME next year in April, God willing, so that she can even go further with Tastetopia and send the business into a whole other level in the stratosphere.
Yay.
So definitely looking forward to big things for you. We want to say good night to all those of you on 88.5 listening on radio, those of you joining us back on Let's Connect. We shall be back next week with another wonderful guest, which we shall announce very soon. So big up to the NRDF classroom team, those of you on WhatsApp. Good night to you, Joanna, Louvette. Good night to Desi. We want to say good night to Karen. Good night to all our ladies. I might be forgetting names.
Destiny.
You see, we had nicknames in the class. I don't want to say the nicknames.
Don't, please.
I don't want to say the nicknames.
Just
Good
be
night,
yourself
Jan.
there.
Good
Yes.
night to
Keandra.
yes.
Carrie-Ann.
Yeah, okay, all right. I didn't want to say the nicknames because that's not appropriate for our
No, don't
setting.
do that.
Everybody has the nickname. Good night
Hey.
to the one and only boy,
Yes.
Noah. Good night, Noah.
About to say that. Noah.
Noah sees.
Yes, AKA.
AKA Noah sees, because that's not his name.
That's not his name.
All right, so good night to all those of you from Ascension International, our wonderful instructors. Good night to Mr. Butti, wherever you are. Good night to Leandra. Good night
love
to
you.
Miss Gassi. Good night to Jada. Good night, Jada.
Yes, Jada.
We love you. We miss you, Jada.
We miss you. The little coffee breaks.
Yes, so we want to say good night to all our accounts class members, all those of you who graduated with us. And we look forward to doing more courses together, because I don't think it's just the beginning for all of us.
It really is.
So we want to say
Can't
good night to
wait.
all of you. We want to shout out the Alexander families who have had losses this past weekend. So big up to the Alexander families of both Etienne Street and New Development, I'm not sure if it's New Development or Crestland. I'm not sure of the or Zeno. I'm not too sure.
I think it's Zeno.
Zeno?
Yeah.
Yes. So the Alexander families, we want to say condolences on the passing of Della Alexander and Jason Alexander.
Yeah.
And I do believe there was another death recently in Fort Benny. I have not gotten too much information, but we want to say condolences from us here on Let's Connect, as well as 88.5 to all the recently deceased and their families and friends and all their loved ones. I want to hand over one more time to Miss Ellé Elizee. Any shout outs? Anybody you want to say hello to? Any special messages as we head out?
I mean, the only person I feel that needs a shout out is my mom. I really appreciate her and the help that she's given me.
Big up, mommy.
And the way she pushed me. I really love that.
Awesome.
And my father, obviously. I'm a daddy's girl. I love you, daddy. Madidot, je zeno what I serve.
Awesome. Big up to Zeno. Big up to Zeno. We want big things for Zeno, you know.
Yes.
Big things coming for Zeno as well.
We're putting you on the map.
That's right. Miss Camilla, no, we were not in the same class in primary school. Ellé is way younger than me.
Miss Camilla,
we were in the same accounts class from January until now. We've done 3 courses together so far.
Yes.
So, yes, so that's part of the program we did with the Suffolk Constituency Office. We've done NRDF Intro to Accounts, and we did customer service, and we just completed QuickBooks training. So we've definitely been having quite an adventure with our classmates.
I have a big up to give day. I forget her already before she give me power.
Give it to her.
Trisha, I love you. Love you, baby. And my little bambinis, Siley and Cairo.
What does Joanna call them?
Punchanella. Just so.
Yes,
She
Punchanella
don't know
Junior.
your children's name. Punchanella. The ghetto.
Oh my goodness. So we definitely want to big up our classmates, big up to all small business owners. We see you, we know your struggle, we understand the struggle, and trust me, it only gets better. It will get better. Stick to it. So we want to encourage you all to do that, and we want to encourage you to join us next week, Tuesday, same time, 8 p.m. for more Let's Connect. Until then, good night, everybody.
Good night.